Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is the appointed hour. Good afternoon or evening, depending on where you're joining us from. I'd like to take just a moment and introduce the participants in today's event. I am Bill Oxford, the National Commander of the American Legion. My guests include past National Commander Denise Rohan, our Deputy Director of Media and Communications, Henry Howard, and Rachel Motel from Kilter. Is that correct, Rachel? But as we go along, just want to thank everybody for being with us as we embark on our second annual 100 Miles for Hope Challenge. Before we proceed, if you've got a question or want to make a comment, do that via Facebook comments and we'll get you an answer. Our first 100 Miles for Hope Challenge was inspirational, and this year we hope and know we can build on that success. We've heard stories from across the country about veterans embracing the challenge, losing weight, getting healthier. At the same time, we're able to help fund the Veterans and Children's Foundation. Our first challenge was so successful, we discussed it and wanted to make it bigger and better this year in 2021. Our goal for this year is ambitious, double last year's. We're aiming for 10,000 participants and a $300,000 contribution for the Veterans and Children's Foundation. Who can participate? Not just Legionnaires, in fact, not just members of the Legion family, but this is a great opportunity to get other family members, friends, relatives, neighbors out of the house, getting exercise and being active. We are asking Legion Posts to engage with other civic service and youth groups in their communities and encourage their participation. Scout groups, Rotary clubs, Student Veteran Association, Team Red, White, and Blue, church groups, American Legion baseball teams, junior shooting teams, high school cross country and track teams, and any others that could benefit from some exercise and fresh air. We had a great start last year. Now let's build on that success as we build a foundation for the future, physically and mentally. Looking back to this time last year, I recall how much past National Commander Rohan enjoyed the time she and Mike spent with their grandchildren as they completed their 100 Miles for Hope challenge. Commander, would you like to discuss what it meant to you and them, and maybe add a little bit about the Veterans and Children's Foundation?
Sure. Thanks, Commander. And thank you for kicking off another 100 Miles of Hope. We all know what a challenge 2020 was with schools and businesses going virtual. And our son and daughter-in-law were caught up in that, and they started working from home. And it was a challenge for them to also manage our grandchildren who were doing virtual learning at home too. So Mike and I, we lived close enough that we were able to get into their family bubble. So there were the 6 of us together. And we opened our home so the kids could come here for school during the day and they could work peacefully at home. Commander Oxford, when you issued the first 100-mile challenge, we were all in. We registered and we ordered the shirts. And when the shirts came, the grandkids loved them. And we appreciated the fact that they came in children's sizes. We started taking walks around our neighborhood. We played soccer and other sports in the yard. And it was just quality time that we had with those kids, away from the computers, away from TV screens, away from the movies, when we could actually talk about their day and share their family story, our family stories, and just, get the feel for how they were feeling being isolated the way they were. The kids' PE teachers, they were thrilled each week when we gave updates on the progress toward our 100 miles. And as I look back at 2020 and now the beginning of 2021, I think how lucky our family was that we lived so close together that we could share this experience. When Mike and I transitioned out of the military, we lived where we could get a job, and that was nowhere close to our families. And I think about that's pretty much how it is for those in uniform today and our veterans who transition out of the service today. They're living where they get jobs, and those families do not have the luxury of having their families close enough to help them. Veterans and spouses who are working from home, some of them have lost their jobs, and at the same time, they're having to deal with daycares that are closed and schools that are closing and going virtual. These families are doing their best to get by day to day. It was for families like this that the American Legion Veterans and Children's Foundation was founded almost 100 years ago. It gives a hand up to veterans who find themselves in these difficult situations. And I think most of 2020 can be classified as a difficult situation. The Veterans and Children's Fund is also used to train service officers. Service officers across the nation help ensure veterans receive the benefits that they earned through the service to our country. There's a lot of paperwork and rules that have to be followed when you apply for veterans benefits and care. The American Legion offers this service free of charge because we believe no veteran should have to pay to receive benefits that they are entitled to. It's all about the American Legion family working together to take care of our veterans, their families, and our communities, because we are veterans strengthening America. Now, we live in Wisconsin, and we've been stuck inside for the last several months, eating cookies and other treats. And now as the snow melts, we look forward to getting back outside to get some much needed exercise, and especially that added family time that we have together. In a few short weeks, we'll be coming into April, and April is Children and Youth Month. And as our spring flowers begin to give us hope for warmer weather, people across the nation are receiving their COVID shots, which gives us hope of getting back to some sort of normalcy soon. There couldn't be a better time to kick off the next 100 miles of hope. Commander, I look forward to watching you and the entire American Legion family and our friends step up to the challenge of giving hope to our veterans and their families. Thanks, Commander.
Well, thanks, Commander Rohan. It's honor and privilege to follow in your footsteps. I guess, Henry, can you go over some of the changes for 2021?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commander. Good evening, everyone. We, as the Commander said, we had a successful debut in 2020 for 100 Miles for Hope. And through that, we listened to participants and we made some changes based on their recommendations for 2021. Right now, registration is open. We've actually lengthened the event. The actual counting of the activities for 100 miles is going to start on April 1st and go through September 6th. So it gives people more time to participate and also raise money for the foundation. We started out with the Kilter app, which is the third party, and we have Rachel here from Kilter tonight who will explain the app. Today, we also added a second option. So this is brand new for people who let us know their concerns about they don't have a cell phone, but they would like to participate. We worked with Emblem Sales today to create a way that they can participate as they did previously by registering through Emblem Sales. The registration process will be different, but they will pay the same fee as people who register for the app. Everyone who registers will be sent a medal. And so last year the fee was $30. This year it's going to be $20 per participant. Additionally, using the Emblem Sales to register will allow people like Commander Rohan, who has family members and wants to sign up everybody at one time. That's an option. Whereas through the app, just like any smartphone apps, it's really individualized. So one person uses their email address to sign up for the app. So that was, like I said, a decision that was made today, and we've worked to implement that. So that is live now. So the $20 registration fee kind of kickstarts the registration, again, with the counting of the activities starting on April 1st. Obviously, the fee will help fund the foundation. We also have expanded swag options. That was one request from members last year who participated. There is still there's a shirt that Commander Oxford can show off for the second annual 100 Miles for Hope, brand new this year. Also with that new logo, we have sweatshirts, baseball caps, a pin, a patch for Legion Riders, and a challenge coin. So those are all be available at an Emblem Sales website that you can visit and then pick out any of those items that you might want, those commemorative items, again, with proceeds going to the foundation to support our service officers, veterans, and military families in need. And the reason that we opened up registration early before April 1st is because we want to ensure as many people as possible get their swag in time on April 1st when the event kicks off. As I mentioned, we're actually tracking activities instead of miles this year, and that was something that was kind of spawned by the decision to go with Kilter. The good news in that is that this opens up the broad spectrum of how people completed their 100 miles last year. So we're actually going to be asking them to complete 100 activities. An activity can be anything from walking, cycling, yoga, gardening, playing basketball, playing pickleball, going to a gym. When Rachel's on here later, she'll kind of walk everyone through how to log those activities on the app. And for our Legion riders, they are also able to participate in this way. They can also, riding a motorcycle is not one of the kind of pre-formatted activities. However, they can choose volunteering or other, and then manually submit the ride as well too. So their activities will still count, and we wanted to make sure that would happen, so we would be inclusive with that branch of our American Legion family. The original decision to go with Kilter, again, also enabled us to track activities. That was something participants wanted from last year. Participants also wanted, they told us, you know, we go out and we do our miles, our activities, and we want our friends and family who may not participate in it, but they want to be able to support us. They want to help the foundation and all that it stands for. So with the Kilter app, people who register can also seamlessly ask their friends, ask their contacts, hey, I'm doing this challenge for the American Legion. It goes to a great cause. Can you sponsor me for, you know, $5, $10, $25 for my challenge? So that's something that is one of the main drivers so that we can help the foundation through this. So Kilter is going to be able to help us with that. That's the majority of the highlights that I have, Commander. We do have everything kind of laid out on our 100 Miles for Hope webpage. So if you're interested in learning more, and there's a great FAQ section that kind of answers all these questions, and it's been updated with today's development with registering as an option through Emblem. It also has the link to Kilter and explains how to use the Kilter app. We will also, when Rachel is on talking about using Kilter, we're actually going to grab that video. So if you don't catch everything tonight, hopefully, well, definitely by the end of this week, hopefully in a day or two, we'll have that video up so you can kind of watch it at your leisure and get a tutorial on how to use Kilter. So the webpage is legion.org/100 miles. And I don't see that Steve has sent over any questions yet. So at this point, Mr. Commander, I will cede the floor.
Thanks, Henry. It's as we embark on this new challenge, I started my 100 miles today. I did 3 miles this morning. I know that's not up to your standards, but I just in preparing to embark on our new 100 Miles for Hope, it's good, and I would encourage everybody to don't just jump into it. Prepare a little bit, do a little practice, a little pre-preparation. That's important. But one of the and you talked about a lot of the different activities that could be counted, and one of the things that I have thought about is a post that might have 100 members. If they invite 100 people out and do a mile, 100 people doing a mile, that's 100 miles for hope. Have a spaghetti dinner or a fish fry, and raise some money for the Veterans and Children's Foundation. But there's lots of different ways that different posts who might not be able to do the 100 miles could participate and take advantage of the weather as we move forward with our challenge. Rachel, can you talk about the new app and maybe give us a demonstration?
Absolutely. Thank you, Commander Oxford, and thank you for having me tonight. We are just so thrilled and honored at Kilter to be partnering with the American Legion for 100 Miles for Hope, benefiting the Veterans and Children's Foundation this year. So thank you so much for having us. And I will jump straight into a demo so that we can get everyone a bit more situated in the Kilter app. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen and showing you the American Legion event page on Kilter. This is one of the places where you can register, one of two places. So you'll see that this registration link is right here, which I'll go through in a minute. But if you have any more questions on how the Kilter app works for American Legion, this is a great place to come to answer some more of those questions. But I know Henry and his team have done a lot of work building out that FAQ section of their website too. So there's a plethora of information in multiple different places for you. So this is a great place to register on your desktop computer. It's going to bring you out to a registration page. And you can either make your account here or you can sign in here. So if we don't have an account yet, I can go to this registration button. I'm going to create my account here. Easy peasy, first name, last name, email, password. Make sure that there is not a space in front of your email or a space in front of your password, because sometimes that will throw an error. I'm going to go back and quick sign in so I can show you what the next part of the portal looks like. And here you're going to see that one price here for $20. Your entry and your medal is on its way this spring for you. You're just going to put in your billing address, your card details, and press join now. And just to calm any fears, we process all of our payments through Stripe, which is completely compliant and completely secure. So don't worry, those payments are a direct donation to the American Legion Veterans and Children's Foundation. So you are in good hands there. You're going to get a confirmation email after processing this payment with a link to download the app. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop over to that screen for you. And I'm going to share the Kilter screen for you. Now, whether you're on Android or on iPhone, go to your app store, click, press in Kilter, search for Kilter, and then you download straight from that app store. The app is free to download, Android and iOS. And I'm going to go ahead and start this screen share so you can see the app in practice. So here we go. This is what that app looks like. The Cairns, that rocks logo is us. So if you have already created your account on the desktop, you're going to go to that sign in up right and use that password and email that you just created. If you haven't and you're coming to the app for the first time, we can also create our account here if you haven't done so on the desktop. So I'm going to go through there so you guys can see what that looks like. And here we're just going to fill out that account. So I'm going to make a little bit of a dummy account here so you can see what this process looks like. We're going to put in our email. And we're going to put in a password. And remember to confirm that password. It does hide sometimes right underneath that sign in button, but it will remind you to go ahead and confirm that email if you don't. So now this is going to take us through the setup process. Now we have a great way to track your activities directly through connected devices. We integrate seamlessly with all of those tracking devices you're already using. Apple Health, Fitbit, Garmin, Strava, Map My Run. If you're on an Android, Google Fit will also come up. You can connect to as many or as little of these as you use. I have an Apple Watch, so I connect directly to Apple Health. Anyone who has an iPhone can connect to Apple Health as well. It'll track your steps throughout the day, your mileage. So it's a great way to bring in data passively. If you don't want to connect to a device, no problem. You don't have to. It is not required. So you can go ahead and just press, yep, I'm connected, and head to that next page. This is where we are going to start setting up our profile. You can add a picture if you would like, no problem if you don't want to again, and you can fill out some of these bits as well. I'm going to skip it for time's sake. And this is another great piece. Are you using Kilter in honor of someone or something? Our CEO, for instance, has his grandmother here, and he, uses Kilter in honor of her and staying healthy and well. So if you have a story about a family member, a past service member in your family, or you want to put a little bit about yourself here, it's a great place, a great profile building tool for you. And then we're going to land on the dashboard. But no worries, we're now going to go and find the 100 Miles for Hope event. If you have not already signed into the event, we're going to head down to that bottom left events tab. It's going to take us out here. We're going to explore events. And because 100 Miles for Hope has a payment associated, we're going to look at that paid tab. And now up top, you can go ahead and look for 100 Miles for Hope. And there it is. It's going to populate right there for you. You click that button and it's going to take you out to their homepage. When you press Join Challenge, it's going to take you out to that same registration portal that I showed you on the desktop, where you're going to be able to process that payment, put in your billing information, and make sure that medal is on its way to you this spring. I am not going to put in my billing information because this is live on the internet. So I am going to go ahead and quickly sign out of this and show you around the event in my own app, since I am already joined up. Great. And now let's say that you did already purchase the entry on the desktop. When you sign into your event, 100 Miles for Hope is already going to be in the My Events tab. So in the upcoming tab, I'm going to see 100 Miles for Hope is right there. Come April 1st, that will live right in the live event. We're not quite live until April 1st, so you're going to have to search in that upcoming. And here we are right into the event. And here are the rules. So in this event, we can earn 300 points a day, meaning we can do 3 separate activities a day in order to be awarded points. What's an activity? So 2 miles walking or running, biking, active minutes, steps, swimming, or manual entry, which I'll get to, and that's the special bit. But also we can track through 3 different ways. So the first is that connected device. So let's say past National Commander Rohan is out walking with her iPhone or her iWatch on, her Apple Watch. Once she hits that 2 miles, we're just going to send her a push notification automatically that says, hey, we see that you reached that 2-mile limit. Here's your first 100 points for the day. So it becomes really automatic if you're connected to one of those trackers. Now, if you're not connected, no problem. We've got a gym check-in feature. This is a great check-in feature. When you're within a quarter mile of a gym or studio, it'll pop up in this in-range tab, and you'll have to excuse me. I'm not close enough to a gym for it to pop up, but it'll have a green check-in button. You click check-in and a 30-minute timer will pop up. And at that point, you can just swipe out of the app, go about your workout. And when those 30 minutes depreciate, we will send you that same push notification awarding you your points. And if your gym is not already loaded on our map, you can send us a little request, put the gym name and the address, we'll add it to our map, and it's there forever. And then we have manual entry. And this is what the most of us will be using throughout the course of this event, because it's 43 tiles and counting, we're always adding, of different activities. So these are your rec sports, your winter sports, your water sports, though I know the winter is winding down. But what's great is that even if you want to do gardening, we can use the other tab. Or if you're going out for that Legion ride, we can go ahead and press volunteering. All we're looking for is 30 minutes of active time. You put in the date. So if I can remember what the date is today, and then let's say we did a nice ride around Madison. And once I press enter, that's going to go ahead and award me 100 points. So my first 100 points of the day. Then in that feed button down right, you're gonna see all of your activities throughout your time in Kilter. And right next to that is your connections. Now this is your friends, your family, your colleagues that you wanna keep a closer tab on throughout the course of the event. It also allows you to like their activities. So I see that Kaylin got quite a few steps in there today. I can send her a push notification that says, hey Kaylin, great job getting your steps in. Rachel thinks you rock. So a little bit of user connectivity there for you at this time when we're all so disconnected and apart because of the pandemic. It's a great place to come and foster some community for you guys for the next couple months. And don't worry, if you do not want to be followed, you just head to privacy and you just turn off that followers tab. Great. And then back into the event, excuse me, we're gonna head over to the leaderboard. We can see the leaderboard in two places, this leaderboard tab or in the home screen. We'll look at the home screen first. Here we can toggle between the score and the amount raised. And we can see that some people are already fundraising. And that's a great ability of Kilter, is not only are we doing that registration, which is a donation directly to the Veterans and Children's Foundation, we now have the ability to give more and to make an even larger impact this year, building on last year's success. So we can also take a look and we can search for anyone. If we know Commander Oxford is here, I can take a look for him and follow him on the leaderboard as well. How do we donate? Directly through the app. There are two different ways to donate. There's a third way to donate on the Kilter 100 Miles for Hope website page if you would rather donate through that portal. But these are two really easy ways to donate for you. The first is the donate button. That's my personal donation modal. So I, as a individual, I'm going to go ahead and press that donate button. It takes me out to that web page where I'm going to go ahead and sign in. And it takes me out to a donation page where I can choose any value that I would like. And I can go ahead and cover my own processing fees. And when I press next, it's going to take me out to a web page to put in my credit card information to process through Stripe. And then in the donation, the fundraising button, this is the fun one, the peer-to-peer function, right? So it says start a donation request from a friend, family member, or colleague to support your wellness goal in this event. We press start request and there are two prompts. Enter your goal for the number of activities you'd like to complete in this event. It's gonna be 100, it's definitely not gonna be 25. And please enter the amount you're requesting from this person. It does not have to be a one-to-one ask. So I don't have to ask everyone for $100, don't worry. Maybe I'll ask for 30. I'm going to press share. And when I do that, I can use all of my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, if you're really active there. Or I can text or email it out. So when I do that, it's going to auto-populate this templated message. And it's going to explain the event I'm in, the ask, and most importantly, it has my unique code already built in there for me. So I, as the user, can go ahead and say, I can edit and say, hey, Julian, hope you're having a great night, enjoying dinner in. I know he was ordering in tonight. And then all he has to do when he gets this message is click that link. It takes him out to a web page where he puts in his first name, last name, and processes that billing information and sends him a link if he wants to join you on the event, or a link to the live event leaderboard on the website. So it makes it really easy to ask for people to support you and, of course, the Veterans and Children's Foundation. 100% of every donation made directly through the platform goes directly to the Veterans and Children's Foundation, whether that is registration or any of the donations. And the last thing to hit on in the app is going to be the flag and emblem sales. So there are multiple different places. We see this big banner ad up top. If you click that, it's going to take you directly out to that webpage where you can buy additional merchandise and have that sent straight to your house. So with that, that is the end of the app explanation. So I will go ahead and stop screen sharing there, but happy to answer any questions as well.
Well, Rachel, thanks very much. Let me inject a question here. You talked a lot about the iPhone, the i information. Of those other apps, is there one that works better? Or if we want to download one of those other smartphones or Android-based apps, is there one that works better?
Great question. So if you are on an Android, we find that Strava works really well. It's going to track your cycling and your walking and your running, and that's free. So it's a great option. If you're on the iPhone, the Apple Health activity tracker is great. If you have an iWatch or an Apple Watch, even better. But of course, Garmin works really well. There is really no one over the other. Fitbit is also really fantastic. So what I'm trying to say, I guess, is wherever you're already tracking, continue to track there. If you're not tracking anywhere as of yet and you want to track mileage, Strava is a great option, and we connect really seamlessly with them.
Wow, thanks, Rachel. Henry, have there been any other questions that we might need to address?
Yes, sir. There's one similar, and Rachel addressed the question about apps to use. Since we do have a 6 month or so period when we're doing this, is there any plans to integrate Samsung Health to the app?
Great question. So it's something that we're definitely looking at. I can't give you a timeline on it from our developers, but if you are using a Samsung Health or a Samsung device, we would recommend Strava in between now and when we do launch an integration with them.
Okay, good. And another question is about, so someone goes and they fulfill their activity of 100 points for the day, and Rachel talked about how you could get 3 times that. The question is about the points goal. We really didn't set a points goal. We didn't want to turn it into a competition, again, based on what participants said last year. The goal we kind of established was just, turning miles into activities and encouraging people to complete 100 activities. And, for people who want to, it's the whole period is about 160 days. So if you want to set a personal goal to do 200 activities or 300, then by all means go for it. But again, the activities, we kind of base that also on kind of the daily activity level that health experts recommend. So just going out and being active for that half an hour, whether you're walking, gardening, walking your dog, that kind of thing is kind of how we came up with that 100 activities, and we're going to kind of be on the honor system for that.
Well, thanks, Henry. Just for everybody, as a reminder, issues, questions, or concerns, you can check us out at legion.org/100 miles. I'd like to thank everyone for your attention, your participation. Commander Denise, anything you'd like to add or finish up here?
No, I'd like to say thanks again, and across the nation, I'm looking forward to see how many people are signed up and to watch the progress as people are posting on Facebook and on the apps, and just seeing how it goes, and look what just came in. Special delivery, front and back. It's very nice shirt, very comparable to last year, the same kind of material and beautiful. Nice job, everybody. Thank you.
Rachel, anything you'd like to add?
Just thank you so much for having us and for allowing us to partner with you on this fantastic journey and this event. We are so looking forward. And if anyone has any trouble on the Kilter app, please do not feel, do not hesitate to reach out to the friends at kilterrewards.com so that we can get you all set up and squared away so you can get those 100 activities in.
Great. Henry, anything before we conclude?
Just one last reminder, lots of good information on legion.org, 100 miles. That gives you some links to register, to learn more about the Veterans and Children Foundation, to learn more about Kilter, to learn more about the differences in registration. And one thing we didn't talk about that's also new this year is, just like in 5K and other athletic events, we have a personal race bib. So people who are participating can download it and customize it with their own name if they choose, a number. So that's available again on that webpage, legion.org/100 miles. So I appreciate you having me on, Commander, and I look forward to seeing all those activities you're going to do.
Well, me too, Henry. Thanks very much for your help, your participation, your direction, your guidance, and this 100 miles for hope. I mean, I'd like to take credit, but it was your idea last year, so we just want to thank you for coming up with that. It's a great way for the Legionnaires to get a little exercise and raise some money for our Veterans and Children's Foundation. I'd like to conclude. The T-shirt is extremely comfortable. I would encourage everybody to sign up, get your T-shirt. The hoodie is also with the 100 Miles for Hope logo on it. Extremely comfortable. But unless somebody's got something else, this concludes today's event. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.